guys, welcome back to the Shannon Show. Hello if you're new. So today's video is going to be a review of The Platform. It's a film that just dropped on Netflix. It actually premiered at Tiff and actually won an award there, and then Netflix acquired the rights for it. And it's a Spanish production. I think the release date for this has come at quite a fitting time in my opinion. So what is the film about? A quick summary of the film. It's set in this kind of dystopian prison where there are two prisoners in a kind of cell, and all the cells are on different vertical floors, and there's about 200 and so cells. And the concept is that the higher up you are in the cell number, the better your quality of life is going to be in the prison, because you don't only get one chance to eat a day. And how the food is distributed, one of the more interesting parts is that there is a big banquet prepared, a little slab that moves down to each cell. And once it arrives at your cell, you have a short amount of allocated time to eat as much as you can. You can't try and save food because then you'll get punished. You have to eat as soon as it comes to your cell. As the table goes down, there's less and less food, and generally by the time it gets to the last set of prisoners, there's no food left. The system brings out the worst elements of humanity within these prisoners. It brings out selfishness, it brings out cruelty, it brings out animalistic nature, it brings out insanity. And as anything goes in this prison, often we see people getting murdered, we see people killing themselves. It's rough and it's wild. There's one particular new prisoner who sees the way that things are going down and decides that he wants to create reform and try and find a way to make sure that everybody eats and everybody survives. But of course, there is some resistance there because people are used to their selfish ways, and there's a lot of struggle and resistance with him trying to achieve his goal in the film. So in terms of what I thought about it going in, I thought it was quite an interesting concept, but I was a bit skeptical because I have seen a lot of stuff on Netflix where the concept is good, but the execution is bad. But I feel like the concept was executed well, but I think the main thing is that to enjoy the experience of watching this film to the fullest, you have to watch it in Spanish and then obviously have subtitles, because the dub actors are not the best dub actors. So I just think to enjoy the best experience, watch it in the original language with subtitles. So I feel like the film is political. There is a bit of commentary there. And I feel like in the times that we are living now, with this whole coronavirus and how it's affecting the economy and how it's affecting everyday people financially, could even be applicable to this. Obviously, I think the main argument is probably a criticism of capitalism. And that is just like a debate we hear time and again. Is capitalism the best system? Is it socialism? Could it ever be Marxism? I don't agree with the capitalist system. I think that the capitalist system is inherently evil. The earth that we are living in was created for all of us to enjoy. It wasn't created for us to now create a hierarchy in society and decide who gets to live a comfortable life and who doesn't. Capitalism literally causes death. In capitalism, it's okay for people to starve up to death. It's okay for people to live on the streets and ferment in their odour. I can see why people support it, especially when you're living a comfortable life. A lot of the time people say it's the best system, but kind of ignore how inherently evil and inhumane it is. And there's often an argument as well, you need to work hard, it's on a merit-based system, and if you don't work hard and you end up on the streets or you end up having a terrible life, then that's on you. And I just feel like life should never be like that. Like, by the end of the day, we're all human beings. Nobody has to go without in this world, literally nobody. But yet that's the way it is, and we're just meant to accept that. We're meant to just follow that like sheep, but then every Christmas be giving stuff to the homeless. It just doesn't make sense. Everybody could live a comfortable life in this world, but because of selfishness and greed and capitalism, that's not the case. And we've been conditioned to kind of just function in this, like it's okay. But yeah, I'd be interested to hear what you think about that commentary. Do you feel like capitalism is the only real system that can work in this society? Or do you feel like we need to be more socialist, or we need to be more in terms of what system I think would be best for the world? I don't think we'd ever live in a Marxist society, but I feel like if it was to be like a true Marxist society, I think that would be ideal. I just don't think that there's any justification for man-made poverty. But yeah, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts and what kind of society do you think we should be living in. In terms of applying it to the whole corona situation, I guess the main thing is the stockpiling and how lots of people are stockpiling and being quite inconsiderate when they're shopping, and lots of people are now going without. Where I live, it's not that bad, but there are items that I have not seen and I probably won't see for a while. So I haven't seen an onion in a while. I haven't seen a potato in a while. I haven't seen certain canned goods. I haven't seen baked beans in a while. It was like one loaf of bread. Basically all the vegetables were gone. There's only a few pieces of fruit left. Most of the frozen things were gone. The particular brand of prawns I like to buy were gone. All of the toilet paper was gone. Cleaning products were gone. And on a normal day, the shop would be full. And on a normal day, obviously the shop would be full. Most people are being considerate, maybe buying a little bit more than they are, but then there is some people that are just shopping horrendously. I saw one video the other day of these three women fighting in an Australian supermarket, and it was like a mother and daughter, and they were like literally fighting at the supermarket because I guess they had filled their trolley up with like 20 packets of toilet paper, multi-packs of toilet paper, and I guess somebody asked them if they could have if they could have a packet. They said no, and then the person tried to just snatch it anyway, and they started having a fight over this one packet of toilet paper when they literally had like 20 packs of toilet paper in their trolley. It was utterly mad, like proper scrapping, like over toilet paper. It's getting ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous out here. And then obviously there's the government side. So in the UK, people have been very critical of how the government has been dealing with the situation. And they haven't really mentioned anything about freezing rent or bills like other countries have. Some people are out of work, some people are being paid. And there's a lot of financial uncertainty. A lot of people, if they're out of work and they still have to pay their rent, and they're going to struggle to pay for things like food. That could lead to illness, that could lead to death. So in terms of the government, I feel like the government is being a little bit selfish. Are these multi-million businesses who are easily pay their workers that aren't working being selfish? When I was watching the film, I was thinking this is sounding a little bit familiar. But yeah, do you feel like this film could be applied to the whole coronavirus hysteria and the whole capitalism aspect of coronavirus? Let me know what you think. Back onto the production. Overall, I think this was an interesting film. It definitely provided some interesting social commentary. I think it was definitely executed well. I think the pacing works well. It's not too long. I feel like the ending was a safe ending. I was expecting a little bit more, but I can respect the decision of how they ended the film. I feel like the acting was solid, the production design was really good, and you didn't really get bored of the environment because it's basically in the same environment throughout the whole thing. I'm not sure if the inclusion of how the food was made was quite necessary. I feel like the administration being invisible would have actually worked well. I'm not sure if those bits when we see the people making the food actually served any purpose to the film. And one thing that I didn't like is, and I feel like I see a lot of these European shows, especially Spanish shows, is the racial comments. Spanish shows and films are very comfortable picking on their minority characters, and it's getting tired. That particular type of commentary didn't really serve any purpose to the film. I just feel like somebody just wanted to say something that they really wanted to say. I just feel like somebody really wanted to say something and get away with it in the script. But yeah, but I think overall I would recommend watching it, and I think taking everything into account I would give it a 3.5 out of 5. For those of you who haven't watched it, let me know if this is a film that you are interested in watching. If you have watched it, let me know what you thought about it, and let me know what you'd rate it out of 5. As always, let me know what you thought of my review, and subscribe if you haven't, and if you have, don't forget to press that notification bell so you know when the next review is dropping. Till next time guys, bye!